Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football Minutes Live, brought to you by Blueclouds Media. What a day! It's a beautiful day. Wednesday, still cold out there by my region. It's very, very cold. Let me know how your day is going. And we are coming back on a review of yesterday's Carabao quarterfinals Carabao Cup clash between Chelsea and Newcastle United. Yesterday, we saw drama ended up in penalty shootouts where we saw a hero coming out for Chelsea side, Georgi Petrovic. We'll see. We're going to get into it and what he said after the game came to an end. We're also going to look at who Chelsea faces in the semi-finals, which we're all going to know that today. And also, we saw the debut of Christopher Nkunku. We saw that in the Premier League, most high players, the list of a Premier League most high players has been revealed. We're also going to take you guys through that list. And also Fabrizio Romano has now claimed that Chelsea are in for another signing, despite the transfer window is still closed. And we saw those two players at Stamford Bridge live with Kendrick PS. One player, then another youngster that already belonged to Chelsea came to witness the game yesterday at Stamford Bridge. I was very, very happy. And we did talk about those two players. We did talk about them. So, yes, this is what we have for you on the show today. So, like I said, if you did watch the game yesterday, tell me what you saw. Let me know what you saw and how inspired are you to see young Mauricio Pochettino's squad and how they can make it over the next stage in the semi-finals. We're going to see West Ham United playing Liverpool today. And then we will see who Chelsea faces. And I'm sure Chelsea they should try as much as they can to move away from Liverpool or West Ham United. Let's see if we can draw any other team. I don't know. But yeah, this is what we're going to talk about today. So guys, be my guests. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere for the next 30 minutes of live streaming discussing the review of yesterday's game and some other news. We'll make it snappy for you guys. We won't be here for too long, but tomorrow we'll be back again for another news. And also the ladies, Chelsea women plays today. So guys, if you don't support the women, you got to start doing that now. Support the ladies as they're trying their best to have the first Champions League trophy for the football club. So, guys, we'll be right back in a second. Welcome back, beautiful people. We are back live again on Football Minutes, brought to you by Blueclouds Media on YouTube. You can also get this content, or you can watch us live on Facebook, Blueclouds Media on Facebook. Also, we are live on X. Yes, you can find us on X, and also follow us, retweet. Also, you can repost our content over there. It will help the channel. And also, you can subscribe to this platform if you haven't. Yes, Blueclouds Media live. We are live on YouTube as well. So yes, Steven is here with me, my co-host, my beloved brother. We watched the game yesterday, and we have different opinion. We're gonna get into it. Steven G, Chelsea have made it to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup competition. How excited are you, and how did you see the game yesterday?
Yeah, I thought for the most part we dominated. I think we were a bit shocked when they scored, but outside of that, I think we were pretty much the team in control. But again, it's another goal from an error, which we've got to sort out. But yeah, outside of that, I think for the most part we were in control. So I know I've seen people saying stuff like, oh, they're celebrating like they've won this, they've won that, and it was against the injured Newcastle team. Okay, cool. Injured Newcastle team. So everyone's doing what the media do, where they just forget that Chelsea had loads of injuries. That's what annoys me, right? Is all the talk in the build-up was Newcastle injury crisis, Newcastle all that BS, yeah? We had loads of injuries ourselves. So for people to just make out like only one team had injuries, it gets on my nerves, especially when it comes to Chelsea, obviously the club we support, because the players that we've had out injured aren't backups, which some of the Newcastle players they've had out the last few games are. Okay, Nick Pope's out. That's a big miss because he is their starting keeper and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
But it just, I don't get it. Like, is it because of people who work in the media, like, jealous of success we've had? Maybe the pundits that we see in the media haven't had as much and stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's not getting talked about enough. We're not getting enough credit, in my opinion. And once again, the substitutes worked. He brought Gusto on. I thought he looked very good on the left for someone who's naturally a right back. And then obviously he brought in Mudryk as well. And it paid off. Gusto's cross poorly dealt with by Trippier. That needs to be mentioned. Like how poorly he dealt with that. Absolutely shocking. But at the end of the day, the key thing is Mudryk pounced. He was in the right place at the right time, and he took it to penalties.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I do agree with you, Stephen, on what you're saying regarding whatever Chelsea does, whatever, even if it's positive, it always end up being negative through the media. I remember when even Chelsea beat Tottenham Hotspur 4-1 in the Premier League game. Chelsea never get the desire or the necessary applaud, or how would I say it, the positive remarks that they should, the credits that they should get from the media. It wasn't Chelsea fault that they went in to play football. It was Tottenham that lost their head, and they conceded that many red card, and Chelsea had that advantage. It wasn't Chelsea's fault to go into that game that Newcastle should lose that number of players. When Chelsea was struggling, when their top players were playing games without their number one players, and Nkunku just came in yesterday. We've had Nkunku out for the whole entire season. Someone we spent so much money. Chelsea spent so much money on Nkunku. He came in just yesterday. Chelsea spent so much money on Mudryk. He came in yesterday. He did some magic. So Chelsea have played majority of the games this season with their top players, but no one ever said anything. A lot of few guys in the media said, okay, they've been going through a lot of injuries. Okay, but the only thing they say is Chelsea have spent one whatever 100 whatever 1 billion
1 billion
1
and this
billion
and
on
that, and
players
it's not
and
even
this
a
and that.
billion.
So because of that 1 billion spent, they have to win each and every game, which I found out to be difficult I found that difficult to try and digest that or understand that it doesn't work like that. Money doesn't play football. You bring in money, bring in players, but you need an organization from a manager, a good manager, a setup philosophy for all this to happen. It won't just happen within just half a season. He has to go through a whole season for these players to understand each other, know themselves very well, to play in the highest level and gain results. It's coming. Chelsea also did not start their number one goalkeeper. They had a debut goalkeeper, which was Petrovic. Petrovic's first time playing on that highest level, and he
First
put it
time
magic.
starting a game for us. Was
Yeah,
it? Wait.
second
Yeah,
time
because Everton was
in
on
the
the
Carabao
weekend.
Cup.
Everton was a weekend.
Yeah, in the Carabao Cup.
No, Sheffield United. It's third time in Carabao Cup, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
first time in the
getting
Carabao.
what games we've played confused at the moment.
Yeah, he's been in goals to 2 games. 2 games. The second one is the first one was Sheffield United. The second one is the Carabao Cup, which is his first time. All the games he has been Sanchez. But what a revolution are we seeing? Is he getting close to be the number one? Chelsea. I know Chelsea are trying to go in for another world class goalkeeper. If Gigi Petrovic should go on 3 consecutive games, doesn't concede, stopping balls and keeping clean sheets. Steven, I think we have a good goalkeeper in our team right now, Steven.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you remember what I was saying. When we signed him, I was saying everything I'm hearing is that he's very good and he could be our number one goalkeeper by Christmas. Now, as annoying as Sanchez is, we don't want injuries, and unfortunately, that has come due to an injury to Sanchez. But the point is, he will be the number one keeper at Christmas because of the injuries. And look, okay, the first one was Sheffield United, but at the end of the day, that's who was in front of him. He can only do what he can in front of those opponents. He can't do anything else in terms of you play who's put in front of you. He can't help that his first opponent was Sheffield United. He can't help that Newcastle had injuries as did we. He can't help that. That's who's in front of him. That's who he's got to show up against. And he's done that. And a lot of people were saying when we got him about he could actually be the number one at Christmas. He's that good. He's got a good record and all that. And some people were questioning it because he came from the MLS. But at the end of the day, great save on the penalty. And we progress. Now let's just hope we get a nice draw so that we can get to the final. Because once you get to the final, you never know what's going to happen.
I do agree with you. No one knows what's going to happen, and records and statistics shows that apparently Gigi Petrovic has the best penalties
he was
saves
the
in
quickest
the
goalkeeper
MLS.
to save 5 penalties in the MLS. I think that's the record, right?
Yeah, that's a record. So yes, Steven, we have a good goalkeeper. We've been crying for Petrovic to get his chance for a very, very long time. Not today, a long time coming. And when Sanchez has been making those mistakes. But yeah, Chelsea came in and have the equalizer at the right time when Mudryk came in. How they got the advantage from Trippier. Trippier made a mistake. He tried to head the ball down, but then the pace of Mudryk didn't give Trippier that time to be able to recover and get onto the ball. So that's why it's always very good to have a quick player like Mudryk. So, Steven, let's talk about Newcastle United a little bit. I know both teams combined, you're talking about 20 injuries in all. But from what I was seeing yesterday, in the face of 1 week, Newcastle United has been eliminated from 2 consecutive competition, the Champions League and the Carabao Cup trophy. I'm seeing lots of fatigue from Trippier, and Trippier keep making lots of mistakes. Don't you think it's about time Eddie Howe gave this guy a rest? Because a lot of the players are going through a lot of fatigue right now. Because Trippier made not the same similar mistake, but he has done 3 mistakes in 2 games in a row that have resulted in 3 goals. They've considered 3 goals and 3 mistakes that he's committed. So I think he's getting tired. What do you think Eddie Howe has to do now for the Newcastle United team to be able to make it the top 4, top 5?
I think it's going to be challenging. I think they need to spend when it gets to January, which I don't know how much they're going to be able to do because supposedly they got financial fair play issues. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. I'd imagine it'll probably be a handful of loans.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be difficult for them. And it's going to challenge Eddie Howe for sure. And there's not really much they can do in the window. So he's kind of got to look towards what he's currently got, maybe get a couple of loans. And then if they want to or they're forced to rather, you've got to look at more of the academy players like that Miley kid that's been playing recently. Mm-hmm. He's looked decent. So they might be forced into using more academy players, which makes it very difficult for them. And in my opinion, they're going to struggle now because I think they've got quite a few players they're not getting back till February. So if they're not coming back till February, you've got a handful of games coming up where you've got to try and get through it. You've got key players out. Nick Pope's going to be out probably until, I think from what I saw, is more like March, April. So you're without your starting keeper. Don't get me wrong, Dubravka's a decent backup, right? They should definitely not get a keeper. They got issues in other areas. Their defenders keep getting injured. But I think Trippier, if I'm not mistaken, he was coming off of a knock as well. So he wasn't entirely guaranteed to start, which obviously he didn't. And then he came on, and I thought when he came on, I thought, right, this is what we got to do. We got to target him because he's got to be a liability potentially in terms of having that knock coming off of that. He also missed the last game, not only due to a knock, but because he was suspended as well.
Absolutely.
Him and I forgot who the other guy was that started. Not Botman, was it? Was it Botman? Yeah, I think it was Botman started, wasn't it? The centre back, because he's just coming off injury as well. And I was saying we got to target him because very much like Trippier, you're coming off an injury, whether it's a knock or it's something more serious like Botman's was. That's a weakness area that you have to exploit because that's going to be your best chance.
What impressive performance coming from the lads last night. The young players last night. Mauricio Pochettino's team last night. Big up to I Want to Love You Forever, and also hi to my brother Makeem. I Want to Love You Forever said, Aniza, and I thought you were going live at 5 p.m. You have me confused. You've confused me today. Hope you're all well. We are doing very, very well. Big up to you too, Makeem. He says big up me. Big up to you. Makeem Steven is also here, so yeah, you want to say hi to him too. Well, I Want to Love You. I had something that I had to take care of, and I thought it was going to take me that long. But as soon as I was done with it, I said, okay, let me get this review out of the way so I can get other stuff ready. So that is the reason why. That is the reason why I have to change the time. I apologize for that. Steven, we did not see something good yesterday. We were worried. We thought maybe it was going to be an injury, but apparently Enzo Fernandez was ill, wasn't feeling well, so he couldn't finish the game, and he wasn't happy at all after the end of the game. What have you gathered from that news?
Yeah, so I've seen mixed things. I've seen obviously what Poch said, and obviously what he said was that it's an illness, but he still wanted to try and play. Can't say that I agree with Enzo's decision on that. But then I've also seen a report coming out of, I think it's Argentina. Obviously, Enzo's Argentinian. I saw a report coming out of Argentina that he's actually got a chronic groin issue. So, honestly, as of this moment, I'm going to believe what Pochettino says more than an outlet that is in Argentina. Obviously, it's possible that it's both, but I'm going to believe Poch on this until we hear otherwise by Poch or the club.
Okay. Thank you very much, Steven G. So, I mean, guys, that's the update on Enzo Fernandez. Elsewhere, we'll be looking at other news regarding Petrovic. This is what Petrovic have to say right after the game, and Petrovic said, "Look, this is what I tweeted. If you guys watch my tweet, I said, Peter the Wall." Peter the Wall, Chelsea Georgi Petrovic shut down he shut down the shootout, silencing doubters after an unlucky goal. Yes, he felt very, very bad when Badishia misplay. I wouldn't say misplaced tackle or trying to do something with the ball and end up making a mistake. And the ball ended up going towards the wrong direction, where it resulted into a goal. Callum Wilson had an easy goal for him by inside, but then the team did not put their head down. They keep fighting to the last blow of the referee's whistle, which they did well to get an equalizer. They keep piling pressure. On the whole 90 minutes, it was all Chelsea. It was all Chelsea. Newcastle don't have enough, so the mindset was let's sit deep and capitalize on Chelsea's mistakes and then win. But at the end of the day, the better team would definitely see through which penalty disclosed that yeah, Chelsea were better on that day, although they did not get that many goals during the round of play. But Petrovic said, you know what? Unlucky he actually conceded the goal. He says the pressure is right there. But then all he said is, nah, the guys have to score, and he can be a hero today and another time. So all he wants is the guy to score, and he will keep a clean sheet. That's what I'm taking from what Petrovic said. And also, guys, we'll be right back. And before we come back, before we go into the break, um, okay, I think I've read this comment. Another thing we'll be talking about after the short break, we'll be talking about Fabrizio Romano has now claimed that Chelsea are about to confirm another signing, despite the fact that the transfer window is not currently open yet. And also, the Premier League have released the most end player, the most how do I say it? How much money do these players make in the every week in the Premier League? Yes, the list is out in terms of players that are making a lot of money every week. So we have that list there, and we will sit down and we will also talk about it and see. There are Chelsea players in there. There are 3 Chelsea players in that list. So do not go anywhere. We'll be right back in a second. Welcome back again, beautiful people. We are discussing yesterday's game, the review between Newcastle United and Chelsea, or Chelsea and Newcastle United. We saw the debut of Christopher Nkunku. Stephen, what's your thought and how did you see his performance yesterday? Also, Gallagher was man of the match. If Chelsea have a mind to sell him to any other football club, it's about time they change your mind, because Gallagher has had a wonderful game and he's here to stay. Stephen, Christopher Nkunku debut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously it's unfortunate that we had to bring him on earlier than I'm sure Poch would have planned to because of the circumstances. But end of the day, he came on for 20 odd minutes. It was good to see him get some minutes. Obviously, we're starting that build up of minutes for him now, and then that means that as the weeks go on, he can start to get the game time and the starts and everything like that. So once he starts, I think we'll see more of what we saw in pre-season in terms of how we set up, and I think we'll be more efficient. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing us play more towards what we did in pre-season and getting that efficiency with our goal scoring and everything like that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Stephen G. Gallagher, Stephen, man of the match for Gallagher again. I talk about him. Be proud to this game yesterday, and I said, it would be a big mistake if Chelsea sell this guy. He's young, well built, he's getting more experience, and he'll be much better. When I see him play, it reminds me of Michael Acey and Michael Ballack, those 2 guys. Steven, another man of the match for him as a captain. He's captained the team quite many games now. Where are we heading to?
He's done it a good handful of times now because obviously Reece has been out and Chilwell's been out too. And it's good for him, man. He'll enjoy having that experience of being a captain and taking on that leadership role. And we know that Poch wants to have a lot of leaders in the team. So making him captain obviously helps in that because as a captain, you have to step up and sort of motivate your teammates if they're in a hard time and all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's going to be important for us to make sure that I know some people want Silva to be captain. I can kind of get it, but he shouldn't be playing every game, and I don't mind Gallagher being captain. I also think it's kind of Poch saying to our sporting directors, like, look, this guy is integral to my plans. I'm making him captain. I'm starting him week in, week out. I don't want him to leave. Give him that contract offer. Do not sell him. Because at the end of the day, he is starting. And if Poch wants him to keep starting, why are you going to sell him?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I don't know where you stand on the whole Gallagher thing, new contract versus selling. I'm sure you probably are on the same page in terms of there's no point to selling him, but
yeah, I'm on the same
I'll
page.
be interested to see your thoughts on that, because for me, it's an absolute no-go, because if our directors sell him, they're basically saying they're not back in Poch. That's the way I look at it.
I think it would be a very, very big mistake selling Gallagher at this point and the way he's playing. Look at the team. They're all a young team. And Gallagher got and keep getting this man of the match rewards from the Premier League, not just any other person, but people that knows the game. His statistics shows that look, he can go on to become much more better player. But if Chelsea are thinking of selling Gallagher to max their FFP, then that is a wrong thing to do. Gallagher is a homegrown player. You're going to get money from him, but that's not the right thing to do now. You still need a formidable team. You need a formidable team to be able to challenge the likes of Manchester City, Arsenal, and the rest, Aston Villa, who's now shaping their way, and even Tottenham. I wouldn't even say Tottenham Hotspur, because no matter how bad Chelsea can be, those teams that were red and they were white. Sorry, they said they are in London, but I don't know what kind of London they are, whether north or south. I don't know. But yeah, that team over there. Even if Chelsea is bad, they still cannot match Chelsea in anything. All right. So yes, Gallagher, I think it will be it will be a big mistake. It will be a very, very big mistake if Chelsea sell Gallagher. But next, we're gonna talk about Stephen. We're gonna talk about Reece James, the captain. From what I tweeted earlier on, reports were coming from, I think, Matt Law. Matt Law said Reece James update. More tests await Blues stats. Pochettino's Blue stats. Okay, Pochettino decision delayed. Can Chelsea cope without Reece James? Injury, hamstring. I don't know if you have any updates regarding Reece James, Stephen G.
Yeah, I've not seen anything on it, but hopefully we find something out soon. We were told we'll hear Monday, and we're now sat here on what are we on? Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know why my brain didn't want to work then, but we moved. But yeah, we're now sat here a couple of days after the fact that we were told, it'd be at this point we'll find out, and we still haven't heard whether he's getting surgery or if he's going to do other treatment. So yeah, we need to find out, because it's going to be an important thing. Obviously, it's big thing getting surgery, but at the end of the day, his sister got it and it helped her, so it could probably work for him as well.
Guys, if you're listening to what we're discussing, Reece James hamstring, they said they have to have some more scan. Monday they were supposed to come up with the situation or verdict or results of Reece James hamstring, but we haven't heard nothing yet, and we're still waiting. But then if me and Steven, we're advising that, look, Reece James, you have the same hamstring problem that your sister had from Manchester United before you moved to Chelsea. But then she went in and had that surgery. After she had that surgery, Lauren James have been top player. She's never been having the same hamstring again as she did before she came to Manchester United. I mean Chelsea. So I think we will recommend Reece James go get a hamstring done, go get that surgery done, and then get your life back again where it's supposed to be. So yes, we're gonna move on from that situation. Next topic we'll be talking about, it's the Premier League list of players that are earning lots of money in the Premier League, and the list is right there. I'm gonna go through the list for you. Probably I'll try and share the list. But before I do that, I'm gonna start from the number one to top, and there are three Chelsea players in that list. If you're watching, we're gonna start from number one. It's Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne makes 400,000 pounds a week. 400,000 pounds a week is what Kevin De Bruyne make. The second player is Helen Haaland. Helen Haaland of also Manchester City, same team. Ellen Haaland makes 375,000 dollars pounds a week, £1,000 a week. Mohamed Salah makes he's coming from Liverpool, makes 350,000 pounds a week. Jadon Sancho, Manchester United, the video game man. He sits home and play video game. But look, guys, he makes 350,000 pounds a week. That's what Jadon Sancho makes each and every day when he plays video game. Oh my goodness. People play video game and even stream them, and they don't even make $1,000 a day. But man, this guy makes a week for he makes that much money a week. Rafael Varane, number 5 from Manchester United. So we've seen 2 Manchester United, 2 Manchester City. The top list 1 to 5 are Manchester City and Manchester United. Rafael Varane, Manchester United, 340,000 euros a week. Romelu Lukaku makes we have a Chelsea player in there. Yes, Chelsea player Romelu Lukaku of Chelsea make 325,000 pounds a week. We have Raheem Sterling, who also make from Chelsea makes 325,000 pounds a week. So another one is Enzo Fernandez, number 8 on the chart. And this list is just your top 10 list. Enzo Fernandez makes 315,000 pounds a week, and he's from Chelsea. Jack Grealish. So we have 4 Manchester United players in that list. I think 3 or 4, one of them. Jack Grealish, Manchester City, 300,000 pounds a week. And the last person on the list is Casemiro. Casemiro, who is out of his depth, is also coming from Manchester United, making 300,000 pounds a week. So there you are, your 10 most high end money or wages in the week.
Earners.
Yeah, highest earners in the Premier League is what we have here. For you highest footballers in the Premier League, they make a lot of money. So guys, so if you're joining us, we have disclosed this information with you. Steven, anything you want to say regards to that?
I don't believe the Enzo one. What was it? 300 and something thousand?
Yeah, Enzo makes 315, and it's released by the Premier League, not from the Premier League website, but I think they are taking it from the website. Like I said, I also had that news on Talkspokes, and they were talking about it. So,
yeah, I find that hard to believe because it's very unlikely with the new structure we'd put in. Enzo's on that. Okay. It was even reported that he's on less than what Jorginho was on for us. So I find it hard to believe that he'll be on that much.
We got to check into it very well. We got to make some more research based on Enzo Fernandez, Romelu Lukaku. I do believe that's how much money he's earning. Raheem Sterling, you and I, we all know how much Raheem Sterling is making, but we have to make some more research on Enzo Fernandez earnings, Steven. All right, so check folks out of Premier League record fee with the he's talking about how much he came in with. Enzo Fernandez record signing also, he came in with 106.8 million. That's what he came in with. He came to Chelsea with. So we have discussed that, Steven. I think the last on the list is Fabrizio Romano. Yeah, Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio Romano tweeted, he tweeted this: the Chelsea will be signing another, I think he's from Mali, either Mali or Burkina Faso.
Senegal, wasn't it?
The flag,
I'm pretty sure it was Senegal.
The flag are very, very common. So maybe Senegal, Mali, or Burkina Faso, one of them. I think it'll be that Senegal or Mali. Senegal, Mali. So yeah, another young player. He was at the bridge yesterday with Kendrick Pierce, who both of them witnessed the Carabao Cup game at Stamford Bridge. I think I have a picture of him. Let me put a picture up on the screen so everyone that is watching, the viewers, will have a glimpse of who this guy is. Yeah, I saw clips of him on X, but he looks a little bit more. I wouldn't say he's
He'll
not a
be
finished
16 or
article.
17.
Yeah, very very young. You can tell I think either 17. He'll be around 17. Good player, but very 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 raw, very raw, very raw. Another player they're trying to add to the academy team. Steven, what's your
Hmm.
thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. I just know, obviously, the name because it came out yesterday. But other than that, literally no idea who he is. Never heard of him before. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what more we can find out about him. I'm sure there'll be some people somewhere with some information about him that we can obviously learn from.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a name I've never heard of. I've not even had time to sort of look anything up about him yet. So
I mean,
yeah,
there's not much you can find from it. It's
no,
probably
but
the
like
under 17 games in the
the
World
stuff
Cup.
that I am aware of, like I know he's a midfielder, but I think he's a DM.
Yeah.
So I know that, but outside of that, I don't know what sort of height he is or anything like that, which is stuff that I'd like to know, especially given that he's a DM. I'd love to know what sort of height he is because obviously that's a very important part of the game.
All right. So, guys, big up to you, KOC. My mod is a little bit late. KOC, you're late today, but big up to you, KOC. We are discussing the review of yesterday's game. We did talk about the Enzo Fernandez situation, Reece James situation. We did talk about Gigi Petrovic, also his outstanding performance, and he became the hero. And also, two players stand out in yesterday's game: Halo Mudryk and Gigi Petrovic did a wonderful performance against Newcastle yesterday. So yes, we've talked about this. Last thing I want to read out here is Steven. I'm not so sure if you've heard about this. These I shared it in our group chat.
I might have
Um,
missed it.
yeah, the Court of Justice of the European Union will live
Oh, Roman.
stream
Yeah, I've known about it.
The European Super League ruling on December 21st. 22 sports management promoters of the European Super League are hoping FIFA, UEFA monopoly over European club competitions is uh, deemed anti-competitive, giving them a legal mandate to proceed with the project. So, Steven,
Hmm.
Super League is coming back.
Not for the English clubs, it's not.
Not for the English club. As I said over here, it says the Premier League club who briefly joined remain opposed.
Yeah, all of them are opposed to it.
Yeah, they don't want to, but the Super League will come back, but probably the Premier League teams will not participate in it, as it's also been stated out a while ago from Richard Master, who is the head of the Premier League, but said that he has put a statement there that the Premier League teams will not join. Any of who join will be away from their competition. So I don't think that any of the Premier League teams will be joining. So big up to Mo. Mo said dropping into the hit into to hit the like button. Mo, I saw your tweet on your video on your live stream. Was it today? Was it today or Friday? I think it's Friday, right? Yeah, I think what I saw was Friday. Yeah, we'll be up for it. I'll try. I have a very very busy schedule, but I will try as much as I can. See, I'm not supposed to be streaming at this time. It was an hour ago, and then it was supposed to be an hour ago, and then it came to 5 o'clock. I don't know. My streaming time is not consistent anymore, but I still stream. But thank you, Mo, for helping on to drop a like for the channel. And also, guys, so we have talked about everything that went on through the game yesterday. Steven, anything you want to add to it in regards to the Europa Super League competition or anything we've discussed before we wrap up?
Not really. I mean, the things will be broadcasted. I think the Super League thing, right?
Yeah, it will be broadcast,
which is going to be a first, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be quite interesting.
But what if this go on to become more successful? Do you think there will be a change of mind for the Premier League teams to get involved?
No, because I think the idea of the Premier League clubs was to do it as well as staying in the Prem, and that's what part of the issue was. Well, it's not the only issue, but yeah, there's quite a few. But also, the Premier League will do everything in their power to prevent it from being a thing for the Premier League clubs. Because obviously, if your big clubs go from the league, you lose a lot of the money, and the smaller clubs lose a lot of money as well.
That's right.
And that's where you have an issue.
And that's where the money is. That's where the money is. The Premier League.
No one's going to watch the Premier League to watch Brentford versus Sheffield United. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah. All right. So, Steven, thank you very much for coming on the show and discussing the topics of the day and also the review of the game yesterday. All I want to say is thank you, Mo. Thank you, KOC. Makeem, I want you to love you forever. I always say, Lil Desperandons, Stephen G.
Hang on to hope.
We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a nice day and have a nice evening.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blueclouds TV.